As a Newcastle United fan, it would absolutely kill me to see Bruno leave for another Premier League side. It really would. I mean, he's a cult hero here. He's done magnificently well since he's come into the club. And he's definitely a fan favourite, no doubt about that. And he's probably one of the best midfielders that we've seen at the club in a very, very, very long time. However, we as Newcastle United fans also have to come to the realisation that we may not have Bruno for very much longer. I'm not sitting here stating the obvious. All right, I think a lot of Newcastle United fans already know that from what Darren Eales had to say last week about, the way the finances are at the moment, the way FFP is, we may have to sell a big asset. Now, a lot of fans have thought, well, hang on a minute, clear out the dead wood, clear out the older players, but that's not really going to make enough profit for us to go and buy players due to FFP. Bruno certainly would. Now, when that Bruno contract was signed and the release clause was explained and everything, I genuinely thought that would be for a Real Madrid or a Barcelona, because South American players, we know they like to play for one of the big boys at some point during their career. They want to play for one of the Spanish giants. They always state that when they're grown up. They always had a Real Madrid or a Barcelona shirt, etc. And it's where they want to spend some of their career. Not all of it, but obviously some of it, just experiencing it all. And Bruno is certainly good enough to play for one of those two teams. There is no doubt about that. The man has class. He just oozes it. Sometimes he'll lose his head a little bit, but why would you take that away from Bruno? That's part of his game. It's where he plays. It's the position he plays. He's got to have that little bit of grit as well. And he certainly has seen, we've seen that for Newcastle United. But the two Premier League teams that have certainly come out in the media and explained that they're interested in Bruno are Chelsea, funny enough, and Liverpool. These two teams obviously have gone kind of toe-to-toe with us in the last few transfer windows with various players. Of course, Liverpool bringing in Szoboszlai last summer. They brought in Endo, they brought McAllister in, and of course Gravenberch as well. So, they are filled with class in midfield. However, Jurgen Klopp feels like Bruno is the last position, is the last piece of the jigsaw, if you like, to come in and make Liverpool's midfield just incredible. I mean, can you imagine Bruno in that midfield for Liverpool now? It would be monstrous. But as a Newcastle fan, no way in hell do I want to see Bruno go and play for Liverpool, or Chelsea for that matter. I don't see the pull of Chelsea for Bruno. I mean, Chelsea, they can go out and say, right, we'll activate the release clause. But that's not to say Bruno's going to jump at the opportunity to go and play for them. Despite the fact that, many pundits will think, it's London, it's appealing to these players. Bruno himself, I don't see the pull of Chelsea because they've been under a rebuild now, of course, since Abramovich left for a very, very long time. And it's a shitstorm. They can't get going. They get a couple of good results, then the slump again. They're not even going to be in Europe next season. Bar a miracle, I think. Bruno, the pull of Chelsea for me isn't there, but the pull is there from Liverpool. We have to be honest here. We're not where Liverpool are. We want to be. And we want to be higher than what Liverpool are. We want to be one of those elite sides. But for Bruno, he has got to start thinking to himself, right, where am I going to be able to win things? Where am I going to get that Champions League trophy and medal? Is there a chance that it may happen at Liverpool? Yes, of course it is. Liverpool will undoubtedly be back in the Champions League next season and will be challenging for it. They will buy in order to challenge. They have the revenue coming in to make these big buys because of FFP. We don't. And that's the kick in the teeth for us. It's a massive kick in the teeth for me to think that we might lose Bruno. I'm not saying he's going in this winter transfer window, by the way. I don't see that happening at all. But the summer, definitely. Because if we keep on the path that we're on at the moment in the Premier League, top 10 is all we can really aim for. And that's the sad reality of it. We are on a rotten run in the Premier League right now. Despite a decent performance against Manchester City, the historical results this season in the Premier League are dreadful. Absolutely dreadful, especially leading up to Christmas. We know why. Obviously, the injuries played a big part. Maybe a little bit of game management on Eddie's behalf was a little bit off, but he will learn from that. But right now, where we are is a situation where we might lose assets because they have higher ambitions to what we can offer. And when Bruno came into the club, obviously the takeover just happened recently. There was a lot of optimism there. There was a lot of ambition there that we could sell to these players. But this season it hasn't happened, and that's due to injuries. FFP, we can't buy, we can't improve the squad. So where does that leave us after the window closes? You know, Willock, we have no idea when he's going to be back. Barnes, no idea when he's going to be back. Joe Linton could be out till practically the end of the season. It's a shit show. Callum Wilson, we don't know. But we can't just go out and replace these players. And because of that, that will probably affect our league position and probably affect where the likes of Bruno wants to go come the summer. You know, and, you know, I'm not sitting here saying he's definitely going to go. But we have to be honest with ourselves as Newcastle United fans and listen to what we're being told by the likes of Darren Eales, who was saying that there is, you know, we will probably have to sell one of our big assets in order to rebuild. You know, Villa did it with Grealish. They sold him for 100 million. They brought some really, really good players to the club. And look where they are now. It's not all in doom and gloom if we do have to sell Bruno. Could Bruno come back to the club at some point? Absolutely. You know, who's to say that, you know, Bruno leaves in the summer and then, you know, we bring 3 or 4 really quality players in and then we start this rise to become an elite club. And in 3 or 4 years' time, we're right up there. And Bruno, we go back in and bring him back for a swan song or whatever you'd like to call it. But look, we're in a day and age now where we know that footballers don't stay at clubs for, 10 years or whatever it may be. Those days seem to be gone now. You know, there is the odd one, but mostly they will go where they find a chance to win things. And with Bruno, you can understand. I've got nothing against Bruno wanting to go and win things or having the ambition to win the Champions League. But can we give him that as Newcastle United as we speak? No. And we have to be brutally honest. But it would absolutely kill me inside if I see Bruno pull on a Liverpool shirt. It would kill me. Liverpool fans would be delighted. I mean, their midfield would be untouchable, in my opinion. And, we're just talking about one player here. They could add 2 or 3 more. You know, is Man City's days of just running away with the league over now because of FFP? They're in a position now where they had 10 years before FFP kicked in and had a lot more opportunity to build than what we have. So it's hampering them now. Is their days sort of coming to an end to, running away with the league and being, the oil club? People saying it was the oil derby at the weekend, all that bollocks. But you know what? Football is a changing game. And, I put that video out the other day saying, is VAR, is FFP, etc., destroying football? And I think it is. And nothing's going to change my mind on that. But it's going nowhere at the moment. And because of that, we are in trouble of losing one of the best midfielders we've seen at the club in a very, very long time. And worse still, it could be to a Premier League team, which would be absolutely, unthinkable. Unthinkable. Because of the way Bruno, he's got that relationship with the fans, and seeing him play for Liverpool would destroy a lot of fans. It would kill us. Because I honestly thought when this new deal was signed and, you were told about the release clause and you're thinking, right, yeah, okay, just wait for a Real Madrid or a Barcelona to come in. It's very quiet. They haven't shown any interest. But Jurgen Klopp has, and I think Liverpool at the moment is a much bigger pull than what Chelsea Football Club is. But we, as Newcastle United, despite the ambitions we've got, despite everything that we've told Bruno and the new owners want to achieve, we can't do it. At the moment, it's a very, very slow pace. And Bruno, he will realise that he's getting older. He wants to be he wants to win things in his career before he retires. And although he's still relatively young, this is what Bruno will be thinking. He wants to win. He wants to look back at his career and have a legacy. He's stated many times that he wants to become a legend at Newcastle United. Now, has that kind of changed because we're not seeing players come in the door and we're not at the right end of the table? We're bang in the middle now. We're not showing... Look, Champions League this season is probably gone. Yeah, Europe is still achievable. We've got some very good games coming up. But, you know, our injuries going to hamper this season because we can't bring players in, and injuries are really, really stifling us at the minute. And it's horrible to think of as a Newcastle fan that, you know, the money that we've got sitting there waiting to go, waiting to be spent on some world-class footballers, we can't do it. It's so frustrating. And if it's frustrating for us fans, it'll be killing the owners because they'll be desperate to start writing checks and bring in these world-class players to the club and moving us to that elite level. But instead, we're now looking at selling one of our best. And God almighty, if it's Liverpool, it would kill me. But let me know in the comments below, you know, are you worried now? Are you genuinely worried? Because I am. You know, these reports on Bruno, they're from big companies who don't just put it out for clickbait. These are, you know, in the media. They are big media giants who are reporting all this. So it's not for me. There's no smoke without fire. You know, there's definite interest there. And it kills me to think. It kills me to think that he could go to another Premier League side. But let me know in the comments what you think. Do you think by some incredible achievement we can hang on to Bruno? Or do you think logically, do you think, yeah, if we get 100, 120 million or whatever it is for Bruno, we can use that money and bring in some, you know, 3 or 4 real quality players to fill in positions that we desperately need and move up the table? But let me know what you think. I'm intrigued to know because I'd be gutted if he went to Liverpool, but I also understand that to move forward, sometimes you have to take that little bit of a step back. And at the moment, that's the way it's looking. But thank you very much for watching, guys. As usual, if you have enjoyed the video, please do give it the thumbs up. Keep those coming in so we can stay up there in the search results on YouTube. And of course, if you're new, please do subscribe. Come and be part of an incredible community on the Toon Review. Hit the notification bell as well, which will let you know when we schedule our live shows or we upload any videos such as this one. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day, guys. Take care.